Good morning. Good morning. Have been so pleased with our city and their response, especially as they've closed off portions of the Skyline Parkway, because our trails have not dried out yet. And so for anyone who's looking to get outside, we can go to the Skyline. And we've been going around the loop off of Anger, around Anger Tower with the kids. And it's great because we don't have to worry about any traffic and they can enjoy their bikes together. But the common thought that I have is, when is this all going to end? When will this end, dear Holy Cross? When can we all be back together again? And I look at different models and I watch different news outlets and I cling to those dates where I can get some hope and some guidance and some understanding of when we can all be back together face to face and walk together. When I'm on the Skyline, when I am walking or running around Anger Tower, I'm thinking about all of you. So, how many steps? How many steps did you get in this week? As we through hike together the Superior Hiking Trail, how many miles? How many steps equals a mile? I forgot to look. So I will delegate that to perhaps, how about you, Zach? Hudson LaFond? Can you Google that, or somebody Google that? How many steps are in a mile? Reply back to us. You can post it on our Facebook page, or you can email us, and together we will through hike the Superior Hiking Trail. And I'm wondering this week, did we even leave the trailhead? We know that it is good to get out and about. It's good for the soul as long as we're safe. I call upon you to do that. So actually, I did get in about 12 miles on the parkway there, and maybe a little bit on the Superior Hiking Trail, but don't tell anyone because our trails are closed. Abby, I believe, got in around formally 4 miles. I'm aware of that, but she could have done some others. Sylvie hiked a good 4 miles, all on her own, and Esme a few steps until we ended up carrying her most of the way. When can we all get together again? Before she awakes, she sleeps. Our world slumbers beneath the moon, the stars, the midnight sky. She sleeps, her chance to dream. To her Sandman she goes. To us he brings dreams. Fever dreams. In dreams we remember what was. We think about what is. We imagine what may be. What can be. What will be. In dreams we see those we love. Those we have loved. Those we will love. Do you think when all of this is over and we're all back together, will we love more? by the word and sacrament, we will move forward together. And when all of this is over and we are back together, we'll see things we could not even imagine. We'll see heroes, jaded and bloody and exhausted and sick and tired and glittery and loved. We'll see entire nations come together to honor the bravery of those who showed up day after day. Haven't they been amazing, showing up day after day, night after night to serve? We'll see a world coming out of hibernation, from behind screens, a world that will stop staring and start on a life less ordinary. When all of this will end, we will see waterfalls. We ventured north again, and I went on old Highway 61, and I knew the French River would be there. And there I went over the bluff, and I saw it, and I looked up, and I took a picture. The girls were sleeping on the car, and I brought it back to them. And their eyes were opened, and Abby said, beautiful. We will see the French together. We will see waterfalls all across the North Shore and within our great city. We will ride out the then dried out single track trails together, Park Point Beach, and we'll see the terns and gulls flying high, soaring the sky. Have mercy on us, Christ, and wash away our sin. Pour out your grace and make us whole, that new life may begin. Have mercy on us, Lord, make sin and shame depart. getting feedback from all over, including our kids, and we always make sure that we have a special time for them. But I didn't highlight the title of our time together last week, so I need to be sure I do that this week for dear Artemis and everybody else. Kids, we say here at Holy Cross. And we are going to focus on, after Jesus is resurrected, he is with those who are closest to them, and they don't recognize that it is the risen Christ until he breaks bread with them. And their eyes are open and they realize it's him. It's Jesus eating with them. The risen Christ eating with them. I am looking for these moments with the girls, day after day, trying to keep their attention and entertain them a little bit. And I've done that with some magic tricks. I tried one last week and it worked. We'll see if this one, with a coin, a euro. I usually save euros. I don't get to travel that much. But a few years back, Abby took me to France, and I hung on to a few euros. So I have this coin, and I'm going to make it disappear. Here we go. But you need to see all of me. So I'm going to step back a bit, and hopefully you can hear me. So watch the coin, kids. It's in my right hand, left to right, right to left. Which hand is it going to be in? Euros are a bit slippery. Whoops. Which is it going to be? Those at home. My right hand, left hand. Here we go. Point to which one you think it's going to be in. For those of you who said, my right, your left, you're wrong. But we love you very much anyways. For those who thought it was going to be in my left hand, are you going to be right? Ah! When I did this for Sylvie and Esme, their eyes just beamed with excitement. Of course, probably at home and on Facebook Live, there's a lot left to be desired there. But, oh, they were so excited when he took the bread, broke it, and they realized who it was, the resurrected one in our midst. So there it is. My dear friend, Derek Fossey, pastor out in Palm Desert. There you are. I see you. Sandra Peterson, I see you when we are praying for you after a little mishap as you are going through now some rehab, we understand. And we hold in our prayer. Anders, we see you. And Roger Colquist and Gene Swenson, we hold you in prayer, and Joey Ogstead. Melissa Reisdorf, carrying on the front lines, taking care of our community's kids. My good friend, my sister, our youngest, the baby of the family, Pastor Hannah Johnson Bartos. It's good to be connected. And I know how you all feel, because I'm feeling it as well. With a new dawn, and with a new day, a new life on its way, and wow, it will feel good. When this is all over, our hearts would have broken with millions of tiny shattered tears. But hearts, dear Holy Cross, are strong. And they'll mend. Our hearts will mend, and as they do, they'll soldier and grow and flourish and sow and flow with our souls together. And these souls will too be stronger because of this. Cross, your holy gospel this morning.
Our gospel this morning is from Luke, the 24th chapter, beginning with verse 13. Now on that same day, when Jesus had appeared to Mary Magdalene, 2 disciples were going to a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem, and talking with each other about all these things that had happened. While they were talking and discussing, Jesus himself came near and went with them. But their eyes were kept from recognizing him, and he said to them, "What are you discussing with each other while you walk along?" They stood still, looking sad. Then one of them, whose name was Cleophas, answered him, "Are you the only stranger in Jerusalem who does not know the things that have taken place there in these days?" He asked them, "What things?" They replied, "The things about Jesus of Nazareth, who was a prophet, mighty in deed and work before God and all the people, and how our chief priests and leaders handed him over to be condemned to death and crucified him. But we had hoped that he was the one to redeem Israel. Yes, and besides all this, it is now the 3rd day since these things took place. Moreover, some women of our group astounded us. They were at the tomb early this morning, and when they did not find his body there, they came back and told us that they had indeed seen a vision of angels who said that he was alive. Some of those who were with us went to the tomb and found it just as the women had said, but they did not see him." Then he said to them, "Oh, how foolish you are, and how slow of heart to believe all that the prophets have declared. Was it not necessary that the Messiah should suffer these things and then enter into his glory?" Then beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he interpreted to them the things about himself in all the scriptures. As they came near the village to which they were going, he walked ahead as if he were going on. But they urged him strongly, saying, "Stay with us, because it is almost evening, and the day is now nearly over." So he went in to stay with them. When he was at the table with them, he took bread, blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he vanished from their sight. They said to each other, "Were not our hearts burning within us while he was talking to us on the road, while he was opening the scriptures to us?" That same hour they got up and returned to Jerusalem, and they found the 11 and their companions gathered together. They were saying, "The Lord has risen indeed, and he has appeared to Simon." Then they told what had happened on the road and how he had been made known to them in the breaking of the bread. The gospel of our Lord.
There is, though, only so much walking you can do, only so much reading, and then the boredom will set in a bit. And that happened to me a few days ago, and I thought, well, what should we do? And I noticed that the bike that Sylvie's been riding on, she's outgrown it and needs gears. And especially with mountain bike season coming forward, I decided that we would head over to the Galleria and get her a bike. And there on the shelf was only one 20-inch frame bike that would work for her, and it was red. So Sylvie and I, we jumped on it, we took it out, and there she took off. And I forgot, though, with a gear bike, that the handlebars, on the handlebars, are the brakes. So she took off and couldn't stop. So, Father of the Year award right here. She drug her feet until she was able to, and luckily not right out onto 53. That beautiful red bike has brought a lot of joy, and watching her on it has been quite fun. But even that, I found out that yesterday was her great-grandmother's birthday, Grandma Jane. And Grandma Jane loved the color red of all things and loved to bike. So it was quite special to Abby and the girls and I that this bike has now come into our lives and is red. But the celebration, the joy, the triumph, the defiance of the time, the belonging together, and the commission of Easter and this little red bike is a bit muted. He is risen. He's risen indeed. And yet, as we proclaim it to the rooftops and live it now, for now the third week, the Easter faith seems a bit muted. The hope of the resurrection gives way to a lamenting restlessness at the same time, and it is okay. Due to our current isolation, while good for saving lives, still feels fundamentally unnatural and worthy of lament. It's okay to be aware and to recognize all that we have lost. Some of you think that this has been the greatest challenge of your life, and it's okay to admit that to yourself, to your friends, and to God. I'm doing fine, but I look forward. I especially push real hard on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to prep and being with you on Sunday mornings. And it is a bit muted because I don't get to see you face to face, especially with a cup of coffee in hand. That's why I am glad and grateful we have the kind of God and presence of the Holy Spirit that we have. I'm glad that in this morning's story, Jesus doesn't reveal himself to his close companions and his friends right away, but waits. And why? Why in the story does Jesus wait? He neither tests or scolds, nor humiliates the shell-shocked companions. He is literally waiting and journeying with them. This is our theme verse of Holy Cross. Walk with us. In light of the resurrection, with the resurrected one, he pulls alongside us. He waits to reveal, journeys alongside, and walks with them. There he is, present, as they narrate their disappointment and confusion. It's okay to do so. He doesn't cut them off, for he's a great chaplain. He knows the explanations will not cure their foolishness and slowness to believe. The time will come. When will all this end? When will we all be back together? The time will come to redirect his friends, but first he lets them walk. He lets them proceed one heavy step after another. For lament takes time. And sometimes lament is the journey that leads to recognition and new life. That new life walks alongside of us. Whether you find yourselves in the hallways of St. Anne's or on the skyline or on Morgan Avenue, the new life walks alongside us patiently, just waiting for the right moment. And when this will end, and when we are reunited, for now, just for a moment, in the meantime, let's imagine what that will look like. The moment you see that face again, that moment when you feel that embrace once again. Yes, we will embrace the old, the young, the family, the friends, the friendly rivals, the rival rivals. Those you wouldn't have thought twice about touching before. We will embrace, and there will be tears. We will cry. Oh, we will cry. Hot, wet tears rolling down our faces as we hold each other tight for far too long. For this is who we are. Our mission is strong. It is clear. It is spiritual care. It is sharing our feelings and being supported by word and sacrament. And our leadership has said, Noah, tell them. Tell them thank you. Thank you for supporting the mission in a strong, strong offering. Tell them, Noah, that we are right where we expected to be, even despite all going on. Tell them thank you. Thank you. As we support this place and this space that we will not ever take for granted again, through simply giving online, Holy Cross Duluth /give thank you. And we gather the gifts of all that we are, celebrating whose we are. We pray the Lord's Prayer, the prayer that our Lord Jesus has taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Because when we are all back together, it won't feel right to ever let go again. And when this will all come to an end, you'll ask him to dance, and he will say, yeah, let's dance. For the dawn of a new world, for those we love and those we've lost. For another chance, and you put on your red shoes and you'll dance your blues away. And as you sway with the resurrected one, you'll look in his eyes, your soul reviving, burning, arising like a phoenix, and those wet tears will fall, and you will never, ever forget it. And he will never, ever let you go. And this will all come to a good end.